Hi, and welcome to Marsha's Mush and Stuff. If you're new here today, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, give a thumbs up, and ring the bell for notifications, especially if you like to see what's new at the Dollar Tree, DIYs, and so much more. And so with all that said, I wanted to say today we are going to get crafty. So grab your glue guns, whatever tools you need, and we're going to participate in the What Would You Make challenge that is hosted monthly by my friend Zana over at OK at Home DIY. I'm the co-host, and then our special co-host for this month is Sandy Lumbermill. So excited to have her on board this month and can't wait to see what all these fabulous DIYers create. And so there's going to be a playlist linked in the description box below so that you can go all the way around and see what would they make. So with all that being said, let's jump into the video, and thank you Zana for hosting, and thank you Sandy for being our special co-host this month. And if you're interested, we would love to have you. And with all that said, let's jump into it. So for DIY number one, we're going to take this picture frame that I got from the Dollar Tree. It did say "This is Us." I did, however, lose some footage, so I do apologize. But if you remember seeing the "This is Us" plaque, that is what this is. I disassembled it, took the inner parts outside, and spray painted them with the Rust-Oleum Hammered Dark Bronze spray paint, and gave the outer frame a full coverage of this steel gray paint from Home Decor, also a plaid product, and I too am a plaid ambassador, so definitely check out their paint products. I love the coverage that plaid gives, and every paint product that I use is a plaid product. So it's a little hard to see here, but that did turn out to be gray. And again, the inner part of the sign, I just peeled up the "This is Us," took it outside, and spray painted that, because we are going to make a tray. So once I fully coated that with the gray, and there you can see it better, I took this faux leather ribbon and made some handles just by simply measuring and gluing them onto the ends. They are for decorative purposes only, not to be lifted up that way, but you could put one simple candle on it. You could use it as a catch-all. I even dry brushed these little terracotta plants and put LED lights in them, so you could do that as well. But what I decided to do, because they were such a perfect fit, is I took these little figurines that I got from the Dollar Tree, the Hear No Evil, Speak No Evil, See No Evil, and I lined those up. They are a perfect fit when I have them in there, right? I was just trying to show you so many different options you could do with this little tray. Again, you could leave it empty and just let it be a catch-all for everything. I left the back side of it unfinished. But moving on to DIY number two, with this Happy Easter board, I removed the carrot that was for the tea, removed all the staples, and I did not lose any footage of this, thankfully. So you will see the entire process. We are going to crackle paint this and give it a crackle paint technique. Using school glue, does not matter what type of school glue as long as it's white school glue. So I had ordered this jug from Amazon, so I had quite a bit. And we're just going to give this a full coat, not too thick. The MDF kind of soaks it up, and this is an MDF board, MDF wood board, I guess you could call it. And I am just going to paint that on, not too thick, not too thin, but to where the glue is all over the board. And then once it is almost dry, still tacky, still sticky, but almost completely dry, you're going to paint on your paint. Now, I've never done this with spray paint. If you have, drop me a comment and let me know if it works. I would love to hear. And I do plan on trying this weathered effect with spray paint and glue as well. But once I applied the school glue, and like I said, it soaked up pretty quickly, I decided which wall decal I was going to use. That one's double-sided. I come back in once it's still tacky, and you can see that there's still glue on it. I go straight over top of that with my home decor chalk paint from Plaid, again in this off-white cream color. I think it's alabaster. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I can't see what it says on it either, so because I've had it for a moment. But I give this a full coat, and just one coat. That's all I've ever done to get the Crackle paint technique or effect, if you will. And give that one full good coat, and then we're going to watch the magic happen. You can also take a hair dryer to speed up this process, the drying time, and I've heard it makes it crackle more too. But I wanted to show you how the magic just happens on its own. It is so cool, you guys. So here in just a second, you're going to see. So once I get that painted on, we're just going to let it sit to dry completely. And this is the start of the crackling as it's drying. And then I show you halfway through what it looks like. There it is. Is that not incredible with what a little bit of glue and paint will do? And then once it was fully dry, and this was way later on that night, I mean, it was dry to the touch, I apply my wall decal. And this is what it looks like. I turn off the light so you can see. Look at that. That looks like an old board. And so I take my sunflower, which was one big wall decal, and I took that off, and we're going to Mod Podge that on. Also had two little bumblebees, and this is for my daughter's very first apartment. And she absolutely loves it. She is a flower child for sure. And her favorite is sunflowers. So this was the perfect addition to her home. And then we're going to take the Mod Podge and matte, and we're going to go over that wall decal. It does not change the crackle effect because it's already dry. We're just going to Mod Podge over that wall decal just so to secure everything down so that it won't fall off later on. So again, it doesn't change the weathered look, and it turned out amazing, you guys. And if you see in the background there's the Lord's Prayer that I did, and I shared that. I just didn't record it, so I will show you that in the end reveal. But again, just paint on, and that is a matte Mod Podge, so it has a matte finish, and I did the whole board. Why not? I mean, we're there, we're painting, why not just do the whole board and seal down everything so nothing flakes off. And that's the Mod Podge drying. And then here is what the final result looks like hanging on the wall. That's the Lord's Prayer that I did. I tried to use a decal for my Cricut, and it peeled up the paint. There's the little bumblebees, but here it is on the wall, and I think it is so absolutely beautiful. And what a great addition to my daughter's home decor and her new apartment. And again, I absolutely love it, and so does she. And moving right along, I've lost count, to the next DIY, we're going to use this mason jar sign. Now, you could use the back, but I love that real metal galvanized top that they had on it. So we're just going to paint the bottom half. Again, I do apologize. I did lose some footage, so it's just going to be me painting here. And all of you know how to paint, and I know that. But it used to say, it came from the Dollar General, and it used to say, be the best version of you. It came out at Valentine's Day. But I decided I wanted to be able to use it all year round in my home decor. So I painted it, and then I wrapped the top with the jute that it came with, put the little red hearts back on, but glue them in place so they wouldn't kind of bounce around like they did before. And the bottom of it looked a little bare, so I wrapped that with jute as well. And used one of my Cricut. I made a Cricut decal. Unfortunately, didn't get to show you that, but put full of love. And how cute is that? I know it's still a little Valentine's Day-ish, but I absolutely love it. And because it's a mason jar full of love was great. And moving on to our final DIY, this is kind of like a thrift flip, but this was handmade, and I think my grandfather made it. And that little wheel had popped off, so I had to recreate that using branches from the yard and glued it on. I had done that quite some time ago, but what a way to renew something and bring it back to life, because it was just all wood and it was kind of getting loose. I glued the handlebars back down because they were getting a little loose and just re-secured everything. That way I can treasure this piece from my grandfather for many more years to come and hopefully pass it down to my children as well. So I give it a light coating, not a dry brush technique, but not full coverage either, because I still want some of the natural wood to show through, but I do paint it all the way over with the Home Decor white chalk paint, again from Plaid, and it does give good coverage. So I did go in with my sanding sponge and just lightly sanded it because I was afraid that, I might break something, being that it's old wood. And that's what it looks like when it's finished painting. And that's after I took my sanding sponge to it. And then we're going to take our floral foam. You should always measure twice and cut once, but nope, I don't learn. I do it the hard way. So that did fit, and then I'm going to glue that little piece on top of that other floral piece of foam just so that I can keep everything intact and in order. Otherwise, I would completely lose it. But we're going to take this greenery bouquet, not using the big leaves, just the little flowers and the small leaves. You could even take the flowers apart. They came in bunches of 3. But I thought that was ever so cute. And using the Spanish moss as well, we're going to apply some hot glue to that floral foam. And we're just going to glue that straight down the Spanish moss onto our floral foam. Also, my new favorite product from the Dollar Tree, and I use it in some upcoming DIYs as well, is the spray adhesive. You guys, that stuff is amazing. Let me just say, for $1, it really does the trick. So right here, I did have hot glue under it. But if you turned it upside down, that would still fall out, the Spanish moss. So that's when I grabbed the spray adhesive, give it a spritz. It changes the color for a moment until it dries. Use my fingers to mash that down. And you guys, I can pull that whole foam piece out and change this out throughout the seasons without having to, you know what I mean. I can change it out throughout the seasons and just by removing the floral foam that's down inside. And again, the Spanish moss isn't going anywhere. Applied hot glue. And here is the end result of this DIY. And let me know in the comments which DIY was your favorite. I think the sunflower was mine, but because this one holds so much special memory, it's also a favorite. And I do love my little tray. I think it's the perfect addition for the little statues there. And again, don't forget to check out the description box where you'll find the playlists and tons, and I do mean tons of inspiration from other creators, including our special co-host Sandy Lumbermill DIY. And again, thank you to Zana for hosting, and thank you for watching. And thank you, Sandy, for co-hosting. And until the next time, I'll see you then. Have a great day.